Hello and welcome to the Nordic Takedown. I'm Jonah and today I have a quite different video for you guys. In the last couple of weeks I've made some deck techs and we have a lot on our channel. But today I thought I would give you a bit more insight in the deck building process. Because you might think, okay, you have all these deck lists, but how do you go from deck idea to a list? So today I'm going to take a aspect combination I don't usually play. Heroism with cunning and aggression. And the deck idea is Qui-Gon Jinn, because it was really cool when we tested them in the Spotlight Decks video. You could check that one here. And then I'm gonna kind of focus on a discard package because I love pillage. So that's the plan. And the short answer to how you build these decks is, of course, you use the knowledge you have. You use what cards you've seen work before. But I'm going to just show you the practical side of sitting down on SWUDB.com and picking cards and tuning the list. So, without further ado, let's go. Okay, here we are. This is SWUDB. That's going to be the website I use for this deck build and theory crafting. And I already have a deck idea in mind. I have a leader and base. I have a direction I want for the deck. But you might not. So where can we find inspiration? And one great source is the SWU competitive hub. Here you can look at specific tournament results. You can look at popular deck lists or the meta in general. But at this point, we have not started the new season for the new set. So if we are just interested in seeing what other players have built with Qui-Gon and Red, we could use SWUDB's search function. Look for Qui-Gon here and the base you want. So we have actually two 20 health bases. We have Strangle Cliffs, and then we have Vader's Fortress. So by searching like this, we will get some deck lists that have been made public, and we can use this to kind of get some inspiration. Already I have a direction in mind. I want to really focus on discard, so it's cool to see here that other players also have done that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click some of these, open them, close this, and some of the other base in case. I mean, personally, I wouldn't put Qui-Gon in Fortress Vader, but maybe some players have found success with it. Then I'll just open all these images so we can very quickly go through them and look. So already what I'm thinking is the discard package. And before we look at these lists, I can also show you how you can find kind of some inspiration just on SWUDB. So you can look for discard. That's not how you do that. Ability. I think it's A. There we go. 100 cards where the ability text includes discard. But we're of course limited to our color, so we'll just scroll down. K2SO. That could be good. Force Throw, that's an obvious. Smoke and Cinders and Force Surrender are a bit expensive, but in theory we could play those. Okay. Lothal Insurgent is actually better than expected because it's discarding a random card. So not only, I mean, it's not net discarding, but it could make their hand worse. Spark is good. Cunning, probably not playable for 6 in our colors. Migs could be some good synergy. Pillage, that's a easy choice. Poe is very strong. Moving down, Senatorial Corvette. Okay, next page. Unmasking Conspiracy. Yeah. Droids, I don't know if you want those. Ahsoka, that's a big one because with Qui-Gon we can bounce. So being able to replay her is amazing. Jam Communications, that's a new strong one. And Chopper. Can make each player discard a card from their hand. Yeah, maybe, could work. Jedi in Hiding, that's a cool one. Lightsaber, no. Ooh, this Nubian is pretty cool. Because we could draw more cards by bouncing it. And the Will of the Force, that's one I really like. Being able to waylay plus do a discard. And it's a random discard as well, so it's even better. That's one definitely going in. Okay, so this is one way you can get inspiration by using the search function, but now let's look at some lists. Okay, so here we see a lot of force units. Sneak attack, that's a card we want to play because we can kind of increase our curve a little bit, use Qui-Gon, and then get the on-curve unit in with the ability. Really cool. Anakin and Asajj are nice if we can give them ambush. So maybe we could play them with the new Shien Flurry card, but this player does not. Let's move on. This is nice. Ooh, Ki-Adi-Mundi, that's a card we want in. Plo Koon, great units. The Aether Sprite, I'm a bit uncertain because we can double when played, but it has to attack first, so it's a bit slow. So this looks quite similar to what I would like to play. Here we have a discard version. Ooh, and this is a card I hadn't considered at all, the Geonosis Patrol Fighter, because we can exploit it out, so it comes out earlier, but it still costs 5. So we can use Qui-Gon and then get the 4-drop. We do need things to exploit, however, so it's a bit iffy in this list maybe, but it looks very nice. So this is already among the lines I like. Moving on, we have some other tricks here. Trust your instincts. So since we're playing the Force base, we can play some of the new Force payoffs. Mace Windu is a very good one. Qui-Gon, being able to ambush for 7 is really strong, but since it's when defeated, I don't really know if I like it that much. I want to really go into the when played and just keep bouncing stuff. But it's probably still very, very good. Blasters, nice, but I don't know if I'm gonna sacrifice some slots for those. Oh, this one plays out of aspect. It's not something I had considered, but since you're playing the card for free, I guess Doom and Fleet Officer, Cantina Bouncer, all of these could work. That already broadens our deck building space a lot. And Change of Heart. Ah, it's return a friendly non-leader to its owner's hand, so we can Change of Heart and then return the unit to their hand, but we get to play a unit that costs less. That's really good actually, because not only are we not returning our own unit, we are returning theirs, so we kind of get a free waylay. We don't have to return ours, but we still get to play a unit for free. Okay, that's amazing. That's at least going in the sideboard for grindier games, for going around Sentinels. If our opponent cheats out a Devastator with Piet, we can take that and swing for 10. I think that's a really cool card we should consider. The Will of the Force, that's touched upon. This is also very discard heavy. Kiras are probably good because when we discarded, if we can restrict their hand even more, yeah, that's nice. K2SO I'm a bit unsure of because it's when defeated and no glory, as people have seen already. It's made it a bit less popular. Yeah, and here we have some more, also among the same lines. 1 cost Force Throw. Could Force Throw on turn 1 with this, but I don't know. Okay, so now we've seen tons of cards. We cannot use all of them, but we have a lot of inspiration. So let's find Qui-Gon. Q should be alphabetical here. And then the Strangle Cliffs. And then I like to start off with kind of the motivation behind the deck. And that was discard, right? So I want my pillages. I want my force throws. I want Ahsoka in there. But another thing that's very valuable in SWUDB is that you can now filter on these traits. So we know we want to play a lot of force cards. So we can just find force. And then maybe start over looking at units. And there's no force units in space. And then we can see here. Anakin. Also a way we can force throw on turn 1. I think having some 1 cost can be good in case we want to bounce our 2-drop. So I'm gonna put him in for now. I don't know which of the mist is better. I think having the shield is a bit more valuable. And then we need 2 costs. That's really important. Could play Anakin, but we have a stronger 2-drop with this one, the Youngling Padawan, that gives us the force as well when played. Ezra is nice, but I think I would maybe rather play Cassian as a 3-5, but he's not forced though. So there's always pros and cons here. Jedi in hiding, I definitely want that because we want to discard. Vernestra Rowe is pretty cool, very aggressive. The problem is, if we play her with Qui-Gon, we won't have the force. So she won't enter ready. So she's kind of a maybe card for now, I think. Jedi Sentinel, it's quite strong stats. Kiadamundi, love that. And then we get to the difficult decision here. Do we want to go for the Shien Flurry? It's an event, and I can't type apparently, but I know it's force, so we'll find it. Oh, maybe it's not force. And I can type. Yeah, it's not a force event, but it wants us to play a force unit. It gains ambush for this phase. The next time it would be dealt damage this phase, prevent 2 of that damage. It's quite good with things with overwhelm, but it has to be force. So we're going to put it in for now and we'll see. We'll go back to looking at our force cards. I have to reset the search box here. Yes, Plo Koon already has ambush, so not really synergizing well there. I don't think we'll play Rey. If you like Rey, check out the Yoda deck we did with Jacob. Really fun way to utilize that card. Oh, she's also good. The thing with ambush on this force unit is we will get the force immediately. So after we've ambushed, we maybe survive with a couple of health remaining. We can just bounce that unit and play another one. So I think these are really strong on their own. Kit Fisto does not have overwhelm, but here we go. Mace. On 7 resources, we could Shien Flurry Mace in, deal 4 damage, and get the force back, overwhelm for a ton. I think that's a pretty cool combo. We'll see if we find space for it, but let's put it in for now. And here another mace. I think this mace could be amazing. Oh. Could be really good in Qui-Gon, because we can do multiple attacks, then bounce him, and play another mace or Depa or something else. So I think mace could be very good. Putting him at 2 for now. Qui-Gon, I think I'm gonna stick to mace and then just consider Qui-Gon. I'm gonna put in there just not to forget him. We still have to reiterate a bit on what we get later. So as you can see, when you're in this stage, you often tend to get a pretty full deck pretty quickly. but we'll have to cut cards eventually. Space units. We did see... Okay, we could ambush in space. And the patrol fighter, that was a cool one. Falcon is strong. And red 5, I really like red 5. Yeah, I don't have to search really. Another great thing here is that you should sort on cost. So you can kind of get your turn 1 place set. Right now we have only 6 good cards to play on turn 1. Anakin is pretty bad if we don't have Force Throw, I think. So we definitely need more. Having space is always good. We have gotten some new space units. Fireball could be cool because we can bounce him. So it says when the regroup phase starts, deal 1 damage to this unit. So it might kill itself after a couple of rounds. But then we could just bounce Fireball and replay him later. But for us to get value from that, we would kind of need 1-drops. And we only have Anakin for now. So let's continue looking. Jedi Starfighter is going to be great against Vader. But I want to be a bit more on the aggressive side with this deck. So N1 Starfighter, 3-2 in space. That's solid stats. Let's put that in. I don't know if I'm gonna put more 2-drops in for now. A-Wing is okay. I mean, Wolfpack Escort is pretty nice. It's a 1-cost. And we can return a unit, so we can get even more when played value. So it's kind of among the lines we already want to do. But I think what we're missing now is 2 costs. So I'm just going to put in some Starfighters for now and we'll see what we do. And then Falcon, where are you? Here we go. Put in the Falcons and red 5. That's a card I really like. Being able to deal 2 damage continuously if it's not respected is amazing. And there's a lot of Han players around which play damage units already. So that's going to be good. And then that Bouncer Patrol Fighter. There we go. I'm not going to add in these Aether Sprites, I think. We'll see. We've already put in so many cards. Okay, events. We have the Pillages, Force Throws, but Sneak Attack. That's a very cool combo in Qui-Gon. Let's get Sneak Attack in here. Spark, also really good. And we do want to go on the discard route, but we have so much discard already. So I don't know if it's the way. Do we have the 4-cost? No, the new one. What was it called? Something Force. The Will of the Force. Yes, let's get that one in. 15 events. Ay. That's a bit too much. Maybe we just have to say, okay, Shien Flurry, it's a cool combo, but it requires 2 cards. It's not our main game plan, so it's probably not going in. And that enables us to cut some of the cards that are good with it. So Anakin, sorry mate, Asajj, also Mace is still great alone, so I think we can keep him in, maybe on 2. But right now we basically only looked at the Force cards. I'm still on 57. Ooh. Okay. On SWUDB you can also look at your curve. Let me save this before I lose it. Remember to save your deck. Math. Okay. Looks pretty okay. With the most cards around 2, 3, and 4. That's how we like it. Right now, playing Jedi in hiding on 3 is not the best. Vernestra is a bit better, especially if we've been able to get the Force first. But Cassian is a card I mentioned that's just great. Also being able to smuggle him. I could consider cutting Anakin. And then we also want to look a bit more on the 2 costs that are not Force, if we've forgotten something. So other things you could do is just look at meta decks in this color combination, because they're probably playing the good card. So you could go to SWU Competitive Hub, deck lists, and find a Quinlan, for instance. Here we go, Quinlan Tarkentown, and look at what 2 costs are they playing. If we look at the visual view, that's not Quinlan Tarkentown. Whoops. Maybe the link was just off. Let me click something else here. Here we have a list. Sabine, yes, that's a good one. Land Speeder, 2/3 ambush. That's nice. We can also bounce him, but it doesn't give us the Force. That's true. A-Wings, L3s. They are also nice. Hotshot Blaster is good. Yeah, we don't need to remember to get some of our sideboard cards here. Change of Heart. Sabine. I think it's worth putting a Sabine in there. So now we have 9. I'll remove Anakin. 9, 12, 14 2-drops. So I'll cut on Starfighter, Jedi Starfighter, to go to 13. You could also play 12, but I'll leave it like this for now. 61 cards, 34 ground units. So at this stage, you won't really know exactly what to cut, and we probably won't either by the end of this video, but we're in the theory crafting stage. We'll just have to make some decisions, and then when you're testing the list, playing it, you will get a feel for what lines are good, what cards you enjoy, and how you will cut it down more. So I'll just make some decisions, and we can look at the final list. All right, here we go. This is what we ended up with. Remember, this is only theory crafting, looking at cards, thinking what do we prefer, what do we like, no testing. So that's going to be the next chapter. What matchups do we want to test out? How do we get a feel for the deck? And yeah, I put 3 crates in just for good measure, and because they're amazing with sneak attack. So you could sneak them out on 8 resources, swing in for a ton of damage, maybe stop them from playing cards because they're scared of taking more damage from a crate, and then we can still use Qui-Gon, putting in a Mace or a Deepa or something strong. Yeah, so the sideboard definitely needs tuning. That Jedi Starfighter could be some other space hate. The Sorcerer's Blast or Daring Raids are probably good to kind of deal with some cards in space if we don't get Falcon and Red 5. Ended on a 2-2 split there, just because it's nice to test in the beginning. Yeah, we have our 12 turn on plays. Decided to keep 3 Pillage and 3 Will of the Force. Probably a bit greedy, probably shouldn't play 3 Pillage in the beginning. But that's kind of what concept I want to try for this list, to see if it works, to really lean into that discard package. Also a card we kind of forgot here is K2SO. Maybe he should be in this instead of the 3 Kiadamundis. Possibly a bit better, going for a split there. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you got some more insight into the deck building process, and Let me know if you try the deck out and have fun with it. See you in the next episode. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 800 subs this month. Can we do it? And if you watched all the way to the end, leave a fire emoji in the comments so I know who you guys are. And hope to see you in the Discord. Link is in the description. See you there.